Hi, my name is Paris, and I'm here with my older sister, Nalya. The date is May 12th, 2020, and we are recording this interview in Chicago, Illinois. We are recording this interview during the COVID-19 pandemic, and we have been in quarantine for about 7 weeks. The first question is, do you look at your life differently now than before finding out about COVID-19?
Yeah, I would say that I do look at my life differently now. Um, I think the pandemic has just shown how much life can change like so quickly in such a short amount of time. So it really emphasizes people's need to be adaptable. They need to be able to adapt quickly. It's very different being at home taking classes as opposed to on campus taking classes. Very different mindset, very different environment. And this pandemic has definitely had a lot of consequences on a micro and macro scale.
What do you think the aftermath could possibly be after this pandemic?
I mean, you hear people talking about the economy a lot, and hence the reason that the government is trying to open businesses, and just open everything up so quickly. I think it'll have consequences for the economy as well as people's, I think, realization about like how I think just the realities of life, like how much you do and don't need to leave your house to do things, or how much you value being able to go outside. I really hope that in places like India, where they showed like a picture of the sky before the pandemic and afterwards, you could actually see the sky after people were forced to be in quarantine. So I think the repercussions for the environment, I hope people really take that into consideration and they start making the necessary changes so that the environment is able to continue to thrive.
Now, moving on to your childhood. When and where were you born?
I was born in April of 1999 in Carbondale, Illinois.
How would you describe yourself as a child?
Um, I mean, from what I remember and what I heard, I was pretty well behaved. I think I was a typical, just little girl, wearing her mom's heels or, playing dress up in her mom's clothes. I think, unlike some children, I was really excited to become an older sibling. When both of my younger sisters were born, I think I learned from an early age to be, self motivated to do well in school. And thankfully, that's something that's continued throughout my childhood.
What are you proudest of in your life?
Um, Proudest of probably my education, like just pretty much everything surrounding my education thus far. Like I've said, I've been pretty self motivated since I was a kid. So, I would say it really started to pick up in middle school. Um, so yeah, middle school through high school and now through college. I'm a junior and undergraduate. And up to a certain point, like my parents just didn't have to push me. I was pushing myself, and I have been ever since. So yeah, just my ability, and I'm not a first gen college attendee, but I think I am like the first one to go to a 4-year university out of state. So there's a lot of pressure to do well that I put on myself and that I feel like my family puts on me as well as their support. So I have a lot of support, and I think education is what I'll end up being is what I'm most proud of right now.
What does your future hold?
I really wish I knew. Um yeah, I mean, I don't know what my future holds. I know that I would like to go to grad school to get my PhD. I think that'll help me be able to take advantage of a lot of opportunities, like job opportunities, and career opportunities. But other than that, with the pandemic and the state of the country outside of the pandemic, even, I'm not really sure what life will be looking for me in the next 5 years or the next 10 or even longer, honestly.
What are you proudest of in your life so far?
I am most proud of, I mean, if you were to ask me what I'm most proud of, like in reference to myself, I would say the fact that, I think it centers around education, just being like a college student, being almost done. I'll have 1 year left after I finish these 2 assignments. I'm literally 2 assignments away from senior year. And I think just maturity level, like I think that's a benefit of going to school out of state and being away from your parents. Like it really forces you to grow up, and as well as like the people in the environments force you to grow up. So I think that is something that's really been cool for me to be able to see like myself mature and grow, and just take advantage of all the opportunities that I've been given, in reference to education.
How has your life been different than what you imagined since the pandemic?
It hasn't really been that different. Honestly, in previous summers after college, I would kind of just come home and just really do nothing, and just kind of be with my family or work for a little bit here and there. But I never found jobs that really stuck. So this, as of right now, it's not super different. Like this time last year, this is exactly what I would have been doing. I think I was already out of school by this point. So I would have just been chilling at home. So I haven't really experienced anything drastic, unlike some other people.
What do you feel most grateful for in your life?
I We have 3 essential workers in our family. So I'm grateful that they are, yeah. So just those workers being safe, and I think there's been a lot of controversy like on Twitter and stuff around professors' expectations of college students, even while they're at home, where the environment can be just completely different. Like people have very different house lives, and I think that they underestimated, a lot of people, not just professors, but I think a lot of people underestimated the effect and the importance of being in an environment like the one on campus, provided on campus. So I'm grateful that I have, an office space and reliable internet, or sorry, Wi-Fi, and the family that can provide food for me and like heat. Like there's just a lot of stuff to be grateful for that helped me be able to continue to be a student.
Last question. What are some of the most important lessons you've learned in life?
Most important lessons, I would say, I think it's a skill that I'm still, improving upon, but just speaking my piece when it really matters and at the right time. Because I think there's a lot of people that, talk too much, or they say things at the wrong time, and whether they're right or wrong, or sorry, even if they're right, they don't get heard because it was said at the wrong time, and so that's just a way for people to immediately discredit them. I think maturity, just my maturity level, like I can definitely see it increasing in a lot of aspects, some aspects more than others. And I think just the importance of being able to adapt to any situation like this one, pretty much, where everything one day was just in person, and then, within the next few days, it was all virtual. Like it was a very quick turnaround. They really wanted us to be in class quickly. And yeah, I think that's it.
Thank you for taking time out your day to do this interview.